Kanye reveals sacrificing his mother for fame. Kanye West is once again in the headlines as he revealed some shocking news about his mother's death and the dark side of Hollywood. Now, we all know that Kanye is experiencing the harsh reality of cancel culture. He was dropped by every major brand he had worked and collaborated with, and this includes his longtime partner Adidas. His anti-Semitic comments cost him his influence and wealth. In just 2 weeks, his fortune dropped by 75%. But this did not stop him from dropping bombs, and this time, he is targeting big names in the industry. Despite losing more than half of his deals and partnerships, Kanye is not going anywhere anytime soon, especially when it comes to exposing Hollywood's dark side. He made some pretty serious allegations about the entertainment industry. He believed that he was being cancelled because no one could control him. He refused to be used and manipulated. He's unlike other celebrities who can easily be intimidated. He mentioned big names that, according to him, were being controlled, like Shaq, Charles Barkley, LeBron James, and the power couple Jay-Z and Beyonce. And there's more. Kanye opened up about Hollywood sacrifices and asserted that his own mom, Donda, was used as a sacrifice for his fame and fortune. Before we get into the details of what Kanye said about his mom's death, let's first dive into the mysterious passing of Donda. There have always been wild rumors circulating around Donda's death. There have been questions raised that have remained unanswered until now. Dr. Donda West died unexpectedly on November 10, 2007. The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office reported that she died due to complications from multiple cosmetic surgeries. She was to undergo liposuction, a tummy tuck, and breast reduction surgery. The autopsy report, on the other hand, stated that multiple post-operative factors could be one possible cause of death, but no evidence of a surgical procedure was found. The deputy medical examiner Luis Pena wrote in his report that the manner of Donda's death could not be determined. After these reports came out, authorities in Los Angeles further investigated the case. There's too much of it that doesn't make sense. There was something so off with this case that they needed to check the doctor's history. As it turned out, the plastic surgeon who operated on Donda had previous DUI convictions and 2 malpractice lawsuits filed against him that ended in payouts. People were becoming more and more suspicious of Dr. Jan Adams. Just weeks after Donda's death, Dr. Adams seemed not to be himself. Many noticed that he was uneasy and nervous, just like what happened on Larry King Live. On November 20, 2007, he was invited to the show to talk about Donda's medical procedure, among other things, but when asked about it, he suddenly stood up and walked out of the show. He simply did not want to discuss the matter and just left. He returned to the show in January 2008, and this time he was bringing his lawyer. He went there to clear his name, but still refused to answer questions about the details of Donda's death. He, however, said that the autopsy report was clear, and perhaps there was no need for him to clarify anything. His lawyer quickly jumped in and stated that his client could not comment on Donda's case or any other cases of his patients because of the doctor-patient privilege. Dr. Adams did not want to violate his agreement out of respect for all his patients. Because of his unpopularity and several arrests in the past, all fingers were pointed at Dr. Adams as the main perpetrator. He was actually there, and clearly he knew something, but was just too scared to share. However, another theory had transpired, leading to more questions and confusion. Dr. Jan Adams made a chilling revelation about Donda's death. Now, this could be linked to what Kanye had been saying all this time about Hollywood sacrifices. Dr. Adams shared that Kanye knew the whole truth about his mom. Donda was fine and well after the surgery. There were no problems or complications, and put the blame on someone who was taking care of Donda post-surgery, Kanye's cousin Stephen Kanyes. Stephen is a registered nurse and was clearly asked to supervise the recovery of Donda. However, Dr. Adams accused Stephen of providing poor aftercare. He left her without anyone after she was given 20 painkillers. Apparently, Stephen was out at a baby shower when the unfortunate event happened. And of course, Stephen denied this accusation and showed emails written between him and Donda confirming that she was doing well on the day after her surgery. Stephen said that he and Donda were talking and laughing, and she looked perfectly healthy. He had no clue that she was near death. Authorities named Stephen not guilty of any wrongdoing and cleared him of any malicious accusations. Donda's death was wrapped in suspicion. It got even more suspicious when Dr. Adams said that Kanye was well aware of what went down with his mom. He insisted that he was not at fault for his mom's death. In April 2018, Kanye posted a mugshot photo of Dr. Jan Adams, saying that it was the cover for his 8th studio album. Of course, everyone knew he was just fooling around, but many people understood what Kanye was going through, and even if he was still hurting, he always found a way to cheer himself up. Perhaps he was still not in a place to fully accept what had happened to his mom. but he made it clear that he wanted to forgive and stop hating. Perhaps Dr. Adam should not be blamed for Donda's death. Maybe there was more to the case than the public is aware of. Maybe we are in no position to ask about this matter. Did Kanye find out the truth behind his mom's death? If he knows this, then why is he not speaking up about it? Well, he did speak up. In an interview with the Daily Stardust, he stated that he believed his mother was sacrificed so that he could be famous. He also mentioned big names in the industry who had suffered a similar fate as him. They all experienced the loss of a loved one under suspicious circumstances in exchange for an esteemed reputation. Michael Jordan lost his dad, Billy Cosby's son died, as did Dr. Dre's son. People dismissed these as mere coincidences, but there were still those who believed that there was something scary and disturbing going on in Hollywood. Kanye openly expressed his opinion that Hollywood is controlling, traumatizing, and moneticizing celebrities. Well, this is something that we should not ignore. As far as anyone can remember, the rumor about Hollywood sacrifices has never lost its shine. People are still talking about it to this day, but as always, it's just another conspiracy theory. However, fans believe that many facts of life began as conspiracy theories. Remember MKUltra? It started out as a conspiracy theory, but when the CIA admitted to running an illegal human experimentation program, people went crazy and are now afraid. It's hard to accept that mind control is real, and there are ongoing experiments about it. The government and Hollywood have always been closely linked to each other. They may seem like two separate entities, but they have a much deeper relationship than anyone has acknowledged. This is why it's easy for people to think that there's mind control happening in Hollywood. Perhaps Kanye has been a victim of it, or has seen something more uncompelling than we see in movies. Kanye turned the public's attention to Harley Pasternak, a fitness coach and nutritionist for many A-list celebrities, including Kanye. On November 4, he posted screenshots of text messages Harley had sent to him. In these messages, Harley was giving Kanye two options. He either sat down and talked to him without cussing, or sent him back to a mental institution where he could never play with his kids again. Back in 2016, Kanye was confined to a hospital for a psychiatric emergency. It was reported that he was behaving erratically. This incident happened at Harley's house. This is some pretty strange stuff for a personal trainer to say to a celebrity client. What power does Harley have that he can just institutionalize anyone? Well, the internet sleuths have made a shocking discovery about Harley. He has in fact worked for the Department of National Defense with the Canadian government. He was in a military facility doing research and performing studies about influencing human behavior. When this information surfaced, Harley's employment information was deleted from his official Wikipedia page. There is so much going on in Hollywood. Perhaps Hollywood is much more gruesome and thrilling than the movies. People could not stop talking about Hollywood sacrifices and ritual practices, but there is never a shred of evidence that proves it is happening. Even if Kanye strongly claimed that it was true, many would not take his word for it. Some called him an attention seeker or a cloud chaser. Others wanted him to be institutionalized for speaking nonsense at all times. Some people were praising and admired him for taking a stand and being brave enough to speak out, even if it meant being called crazy. If there's one thing everyone knows about Hollywood, it's that it's not a place for the faint of heart. The industry has a dark and ugly side. Unfortunately, it's not always glitz and glamour. What do you think really happened to Kanye's mom? Do you believe his words about Hollywood sacrifices? Let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned for more interesting videos like this. Are you not entertained? If you are, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.